When should you have the marriage conversation? Don't.
Exactly.
What you having it for? He gonna show you in his actions what time it is. You ain't got to say a word. Go ahead, Priscilla. What you think about that?
I don't even know why these women sitting up here talking about marriage, because marriage ain't nothing but slavery. Women think they can own men. Women are so desperate to have a man be their identity that they need marriage only to get into it, whine and complain endlessly. It's not in the nature of a man to do all this that you keep asking them to do. I understand why men now say that women are the ones that break up their family, because men know that women are delusional and just want the wedding. They don't actually want the marriage. A lot of men just give up in the marriage and let the woman be in the marriage while he escapes through extramarital affairs.
I'm going to just be honest. We tired of crying in the shower. We tired of crying in the car. That is aggravating. Look at my man shaking his head. Hell yeah. Look, the shower. The shower is my crying spot, bro. Because we can't cry to y'all.
No, you're definitely right, though. I think as women, we do need to do better when it comes to our men and making sure that we mentally take care of them. But we also need to be mentally taken care of as well. And when I say this, I mean...
For my man, sis, that wasn't about us.
Why they do that, bro? Why they do that, bro? Why they do that?
No, listen, it comes back around. Listen what I'm saying.
Can't never just be about us. Can't never be about us.
Man, this is the Nothing But the Truth live podcast.
But when a stranger looks at me and goes, "Hey, ma'am, I'm going to do this," I'm going to go, I'm not a ma'am, I'm not a lady, I'm not a girl.
Let's get all the women and children to safety first, okay? Women and children only, please. Not you. I thought you said you're non-binary, right? That means you're not a woman. Oh, so now you're a woman. Well, what happened when I called you ma'am and you were pretending I wasn't talking to you? Oh, okay. So as soon as the danger alarms are going off, now all of a sudden objective truth matters. Yeah, okay. Well, today's your lucky day. I'm going to be affirming your identity right now. Okay, so you get to stay behind. Okay, but don't worry. All right, we have 83 genders before I call non-binary. So, eventually you'll get out of here. But don't get mad at me. I didn't make the rules.
And why did you pop? He said he just do music, so I kind of need a man with a job.
Damn.
I got 6 kids.
I can't do the kids. It's all right.
I don't need you to take care of them. I just need a man with a job.
I'm not the man for you, baby.
I know, baby. That's why I popped.
It's all good.
Okay, you still had your balloon, and why?
Because I was going to ask him, did he have a job at first, but when he kept talking, he ain't say nothing about no job, so I just had to pop.
All right, somebody sent me this kind of disturbing video. I'll let it play for a little bit, and then let's talk about it, guys. You be the judge. So this lady, Sam, who is assistant general manager of this particular gym, by the way, insinuates that this guy's a creep because he sits so close behind her. And in response to that, she gets even closer to him, sticks her ass in his face, and then steps all over him. In her own description, she says that she told him to sit somewhere else, and he said no. Maybe he just likes that bench. Maybe he's a creature of habit and just uses that bench all the time. Maybe that's just where he wants to train, and he's not being a creep, and you can share the gym because, well, you're a manager there and you know how gyms work. But how is the option that you went with to record yourself stepping all over him and being a rude piece of shit? You say other members come to check on me. Yeah, to be like, what is wrong with you? She says, it's not all men, but it's always a man. Buddy was just trying to get a chest day in, and you decided to step all over him and be a huge douche for no reason at all.
This satire, because ain't no way. This is satire, man. Ain't no way she's serious about this. He's stepping in the man's way. The man looked like he said, oh, she here to play games. At the beginning of the video, he said, oh, she here to play games. Let me go ahead and start my workout. And you decided to put, what are you doing? Why are women in the gym playing too much?
Divorce is just a part of life. Overweight, they call it more to love. No responsibility, freedom. Hookup culture, empowerment. Overexposing your body, expression. Modern culture will try and convince you that there's no such thing as right or wrong anymore. Here's the truth. They just want to make women weak, distracted, and vulnerable. Because it's easier to manipulate and influence you. And honestly, it's working. So many women today are scatterbrained, depleted, and emotionally numb. Not because we're broken, but because we followed broken advice. We traded God for celebrities and modesty for trends. Now, instead of calling it for what it is, confusion, we call it empowerment. But you still have a choice. You can reject that noise and train your body, your mind, and your spirit. Stand firm in truth and not trends. You don't have to be perfect, but be powerful. Do this for your future, for your family, and for yourself. Because in a culture of lies, a woman who chooses truth stands out. Follow me for more.
Inside of every man is a wolf and a sheepdog. Whichever one gets fed is the one that's going to show up. Wolves are cunning, they're predatory, they're dangerous, and they're savage. Sheepdogs are wise, they're protectors, and they're dangerous, and they're savage. And here's something that's really, really important to understand about men, all of us men. How we are treated becomes our identity. So if you're in a relationship, for example, and you are treated with disrespect from your woman, she doesn't show you respect, she doesn't give you intimacy, she treats you like a child, the wolf is going to show up if you're a man. And the wolf is going to start cheating on you, or it's going to leave your house. Now, I'm not condoning infidelity, but I'm just telling you this is what's going to happen. The wolf is going to show up, or he's going to get neutered into a harmless lapdog. Both of these are a loss for women. None of these are valuable. So if you want a sheepdog, you got to be treated like a sheepdog. Dangerous protector that takes care of those on his watch. If you treat a man like a king, you'll act like a king. If you treat him like something less than that, he's going to turn into a wolf.
I don't think men leave happy homes. I think they leave once that respect is gone. I have been divorced for 8 years. I was with my ex-husband for a total of 10 years, and we have a child together. And these are some of the things that I have learned along the way. And no, it did not come overnight, but ladies, listen up. If you want true loyalty from a man, ladies, you have got to stop making your husband or significant other the punchline for your social media likes and the gossip ring for your girlfriends. And don't forget, respect is like oxygen for a man. You take it away long enough, and I'm gonna tell you what, honey, he is gonna suffocate. And men don't just wake up one day and just decide to leave. Men leave after the same repetitive days, like coming home after working hard all day to the nagging, complaining, moaning, and griping. This in the ear as soon as they walk in the door. And sometimes you hear these women say, I don't know what happened, he just changed. Or maybe he just adjusted to the way that you've been treating him. And some of you I know are going to say, well, it sounds like he just can't handle a strong woman. Then, no, I'm pretty sure he can handle a strong woman. He doesn't want to handle a disrespectful one. So when your husband gets home from work, hug him, tell him you love him, how much you appreciate him, how much you're thankful for the hard work that he does to provide for your family. Because I'm telling you, you do not want to be on the other side of this fence.
Men are competitive. Men play for points. They're about team. And when he feels disrespected, he feels like he's failing. He feels like he's not winning. And most men will gravitate to things, places where they feel honored, where they feel respected, where they feel like they're winning. So if he can never be a winner at home with his wife, no matter what he does, he's being criticized, which is disrespectful. He's being interrupted, which is disrespectful. You're never happy, which is actually disrespectful to him. He feels like he's losing. He feels like it's a failure, and he will gravitate toward other things. And I'm not saying that to scare you. It might not be toward another woman, but he might gravitate and spend more time at work, more time with his buddies, more time with the kids, more time with his hobbies, places he feels honored, respected, and where he can win.
And I love that she said that. She recently had a video really getting on the men, basically saying, hey, I know you guys follow me, but I'm looking at what you guys watch, and something ain't adding up. You guys are watching and feeding into things that you shouldn't be, while saying this is not what you want. So y'all need to tighten up. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to hold brothers accountable on both sides. I appreciate you speaking up for the men, but then also saying, hey, I see it. There's something, you got something showing a little bit. Y'all be careful out there, right? But a man needs respect. He's got to have it. This is something that is very, very important to him. And a lot of modern women don't get that.
Women leave relationships because they're no longer happy. And relationships have never been about happiness or love. They have been about duty, responsibility, child rearing, important stuff, not Disney fantasies.
The reason why you commit to doing those duties is because of love first.
No,
These days,
it
that's
isn't.
just the way they are.
Okay, then hopefully that works out for you. Good luck with that. I'm not going to argue with you. Good luck with that.
Well, I just want to make the point that
No, are you engaged?
no,
Are you seeing anyone seriously?
nope.
Have you ever been in love?
Yes, I don't want to.
How long
see
ago?
anyone
How
right
long ago? How long do you ago?
now. Just recently, probably still, I guess.
What do you mean? You're still in love with somebody you're not with?
Yes,
How long were you guys together?
we were never together.
So you're in love with somebody you were never with. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's a possible thing. That's a normal.
And you want to give advice.
I married the nice guy. The guy who made me laugh. I married the guy who was stable, who didn't yell. I married the guy who wasn't afraid to get down on the floor and play with kids. I married the guy who laughed really loudly, who didn't seem to care if anybody was watching. I married the guy who was soft with me, who listened to me on the phone for hours. I married the nice guy.
She's separated from him now, and she's probably about to get a divorce. Yes, all the great characteristics that she just listed about that man still was not good enough. After 20 years of being married to this man that was so great to her, she still decided that it wasn't enough. I swear, some of y'all deserve to be alone. Some of y'all do not deserve to have good people in your life because you them over. And her dumbass reason for separating from this man is because she was also doing for him and basically got tired of doing it. That's all that it was. Like, seriously, what more could that man have done for you? You just sound like a very ungrateful person.
All women are the same. Women don't want you to know this. From my experience of sleeping with over 300 women, they're all the same. Female nature is a constant across culture, across IQ, education level, race, religion. It doesn't change. So if you're one of these guys that's saying, well, all this that he's saying, that only works on toxic girls, cope, bro. And all these that say, oh, you must be dealing with low quality women, disingenuous at best. Bro, just think about it. Female nature is just a biological instinct that has been adapted for over 200,000 years, since the dawn of Homo sapiens. There is no human on planet Earth that is so evolved that this adaptation does not apply to her. The argument against all women are the same is feminist propaganda that now has been piggybacked by gold diggers who keep men fooled as long as possible. I mean, I hate to burst your bubble, but she ain't different, bro. They're all the same.
You want all the things that are associated with wifey, but you don't actually want to wife her. You just want to be able to say that you have someone to hold it down.
Would you do wifey things for your boyfriend, or does he have to put a ring on it first?
I did wifey for 11 years. I got nothing. So I'm not giving anything that I'm not receiving. So if you put in 50%, I'm going to put in 50%.
But then wouldn't you say that if that's how you are, shouldn't you continue being yourself and not let a man from the past change who you are that could affect your future?
I agree with that. As much as I do agree with that, shut up. With the men in this dating era, I've noticed a consistent trend of...
Because I know Western, they all like ass. So because I'm Asian, our genetic is like skinny. But I'm trying to get more weight and go to the gym every day, like work out more so I can get thick. Like I know Western like the big booty, like number 8, shape 8. So I'm trying to get more because I know all the black girls have got a very nice body, but that's from their genetic. Yeah, we cannot do that, especially unless we work out a lot.
What is your Instagram?
Judy Sweetie 1026.
I see where you're coming from, but I'd be careful with this one. You know, maybe with that wanting to get a better body, I understand that. but you're already, sounds like, adopting some of the terrible beauty standards that some of these people are putting on themselves. And they're miserable because men only look at them in a certain way. Men only see them as a certain thing. You don't want to do that. You just want to be your version of beautiful to a man. And that's enough.
Right. Because if I took you out to eat 10 times and you never offered to pay, I wouldn't be dating you. Fired. Because that's the most politest you're going to be. Correct. It's not the fact that you got to pay. It's just me knowing that you would pay. It's just the gesture.
If I need
So he said he wouldn't be dating a woman that never offered to pay.
Correct.
So that's the psychology of, man, just because she offered, you ain't got to never worry about it.
The beef between me and this plus-size influencer has finally come to an end. If you guys are new here, this is J-Bay, a plus-size influencer who started a petition to force the airlines to give overweight people free seats.
My body isn't the problem. The system is.
Over the last few years, I was essentially Batman deflecting the hate that the airlines were getting, telling plus-size people to focus on their health and a caloric deficit. We would go back and forth with content, video after video, but she recently disappeared and stopped posting. And that was until I came across this news article. She got arrested for violence, probably for assaulting a flight attendant or something. And that's not even the best part. When the police officers tried to arrest her, they realized they couldn't fit her in the car. So they had to call a backup van and put her in the trunk. All of this, when you could have just listened to what I had to say. Focus on your health. I'm not here to bash her, but what I am here to say is now that she's not on the internet warping the minds of young kids, telling them that the world should change for you instead of you changing for the world, that is a win. A win for accountability and a win for common sense.
I'll tell you guys. What? Hey, I can't breathe. Hey, I can't breathe. I'm not. What the?
Ladies and gentlemen, I now know why so many people are getting divorced. Because the comment section of my last post showed me just how clear it is how many of you, especially men, don't understand how a marriage or a family dynamic works. And if you don't know what I'm talking about in regards to my last post, go back and watch it. It was the one from yesterday where I talk about how family dynamic always goes wife, children, mother. The amount of comments I saw from men talking about how their mommy will always come first. Their mommy raised them. Their mommy did everything for them. Their mommy gave them this and that. So their mommy will always come first was staggering. Gentlemen, I will tell you this. You can talk to any woman on the planet or go to any comment section about marriage. Women do not like a mama's boy. They will end your marriage when you put your mother above your wife. And that should not be hard to understand, but so many men said that their mommy will always come first. Fellas, let me explain something to you. As a parent, your mom is supposed to raise you into a competent adult to where you leave the nest and go start your own family. Once you started your own family, they are now your priority. Your mom will always be there for you, but the family you started, the wife you chose, and the children you have will always come above your mother. And your mother, if she did a good job and has any understanding of how to raise children, will be happy that you put your wife and children above her. The other comment I got from so many men and women was them making up hypothetical situations and being like, well, what if your wife and children were both hanging off of a cliff at the same time? If you chose your wife first, your children would die, blah, 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 blah. Trying to tell me I'm wrong because they made up scenarios in their head that had nothing to do with my original post about the basic day-to-day family dynamic. Y'all can't comprehend a single simple post, so I guarantee you can't understand how a marriage and how a family works. And to all the men and women that said that they will always put their children first, good luck once your children leave, because your children will eventually leave after whatever 18 plus years, and then it will just be you and the person that you neglected for those 18 plus years. I will bet you they're harboring some resentment for you always putting them last. Now, after seeing how many people just don't get it, I want to take a second to say thank you to all the men and women that do. All of the men and women that understand that putting your spouse first just means that you fill up each other's cups first. You make sure each other are okay. And you work as a team to then pour into your children. Putting your spouse first doesn't mean you don't take care of your children. It just means that you support each other as a team and then pour into your children as a team. All right, that's all I have to say. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and share this video. I'd appreciate it. Dedicated F Dad, out.
And I hear what you're saying, but Also think about that dynamic in reverse. When a woman says, and they do, and maybe you haven't seen any of that, and that's why you're talking like this. When women say, well, my dad does this for me, my dad does that for me, my dad does X, X, Y, Y, Z, Z for me. So imagine when a man continues to hear that. And even without that situation, even without that stuff that a woman is saying, maybe she don't even bring her dad into it. But there are certain things that modern women say. So, you know, we talk about divorce and how women leave, right? And they leave at 70%, 90% of the time. Well, it's because the man ain't doing this, and this, right? You're doing the same thing. Blaming men. Oh, it must be the man's fault. The man is doing X, Y, and Z. What about the woman? Why are we not talking about the women? Why are we not talking about how the women say the exact same thing? They say the exact same thing. Men always got to be held accountable. Even for what a woman, well, you got to be the leader. You got to do that. They're not following, bro. If a woman is not following, she's not a good person. Well, she left, so that must mean she's not a good person. Women have gotten on here and said, I left a good guy. Then laid out all the things that the man did. Just got through watching a clip where a woman got on here talking about how she was engaged. Man did everything that he was supposed to do. But all of a sudden it's, well, God was telling me this, and this. Oh, interesting. After the man that spent all this money, all of these resources, all of the time, if God is telling you to, well, God is just telling me to move on, you realize that they never talk about paying the man back, that they never talk about giving the man his stuff back. They never talk about that because I'm not planning on doing it. I'm planning on moving through life freely. I'm planning on just, oh, well, I'm sorry it didn't work out the way we both wanted to work out. I really wanted to do this, da. Okay, then. Well, give me at least half back. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be held accountable. I don't want to put my money where my mouth is. Oh, well, that don't make a whole lot of sense. It does, because in divorce court, guess what the man has to do? He has to put up, well, you need to give her 50% of your stuff, bro. Oh, well, man, I don't think, well, it don't matter. You need to give her 50% of your stuff. And in some states, you need to give her alimony. And you need to keep on paying. And sometimes I've seen a woman say, well, you know, I know the alimony is about to expire, but I'm supposed to be getting some of his pension. When is that check coming in? I'm just going to wait until this pension starts kicking in. I'm going to get that check. And then I'm going to go get some other stuff done that I've been really wanting to get done. Okay. All right. That's what I'm saying. They want a man to continue to fund their lifestyle, to do things for them, to effectively be their father. But now when a man says, hey, man, no, we not doing that. Here you come, wanting to get on, especially the men. Shut up. Anyway.
When you have your own money, you start seeing men for the bitches that they are, literally. It's so easy and so clear to see that a lot of these men have nothing to offer besides money. So when they can't do nothing for you because you pay for your own bills, yes, it's nice to have a couple bills paid for, but you don't got to be fake nice for them to pay that bill. You can cut people off when you feel like it. They look at you wrong, out of there. It's the best, one of the best feelings in the world, literally.
If you get pregnant by your situationship and he asks you, what are you gonna do? He doesn't want the baby. Get rid of it. ASAP.
I got my whole Instagram taken down by strippers. Yeah, I know.
Tell us the story.
Okay, so I've been on World Star a couple times, and I had this one video. I thought it was great. So somebody asked me, hey, Tay, what do you think of strippers? I don't hate them. I don't think nothing's wrong with them. But one of these girls was crying and saying, like, her boyfriend didn't want to be with her, things like that. And I just said something along the lines of, you know, you're dancing on men, and you're getting them, you know, rock solid, and then you go back home to your man, smell like another man. And I said, no man's going to want to love you or be with you. I'm not saying you're not deserving of love, but women misconstrue that. All those strippers got upset and literally took down my Instagram. But they were saying, you wish your body looked like mine, you wish you could dance, you wish you could. Why would I wish that? Well, you guys act like I'm some beast or something, like I'm a hyena. Whoa. I'm a good looking woman, but I don't need to do that to make money. I'm not trying to knock you, but it's just an opinion. So stuff like that kind of irritates me because it's just an opinion, man. I'm not like going out and getting you guys or hurting you. So why mess up my content and mess up my flow? But it's all right. We back now. 400K on Instagram.
Everyone says waiting till marriage is unrealistic, but you know what is unrealistic? Thinking you can give yourself away to dozens of people and still have something whole left to give to. You can have tons of sexual partners and still have a happy and satisfying relationship later. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living. 3 science-backed facts you should know. Number 1, there is no way for people to get used up by having lots of sex or lots of sexual partners. There's no biological or psychological mechanism for that to happen.
You don't need to be a doctor to understand that the best way to predict future behavior is to look at past behavior. People that have had more sexual partners are more likely to be unfaithful in future relationships. And although that's not causation, there's definitely correlation. Also, 41% of marriages end in divorce, so you should be very careful about who you choose. While Christian couples that go to church regularly together and pray together stay together. Their divorce rate is like 1%. And women that stay virgins until marriage have a divorce rate of 5%. And as a woman's body count rises, the divorce rate continues to increase. This isn't even me making a moral point saying God said so, so you should do it. Even though he did, and you should, there are plenty of other practical reasons as to why you should avoid having tons of sexual partners. Just think about this for a second. People in today's society get married without even getting married. What does this mean? They live together, they have sex, they might even have kids together. They do life together. They never actually commit to each other in marriage. And then what happens? When they get sick of each other or hard times hit, they leave. Which is pretty much exactly like getting a divorce because they were practically married. Now those people go off, find another partner. The cycle continues. They increase their body count and get into the habit of jumping ship in a relationship whenever anything gets hard. And marriage isn't a surefire way to fix all of this. It's definitely the best option you've got.
I know that there's so many women all over the world stressed out, running around looking for that last minute gift for their man. They're sitting around thinking, what do you get the man that already has everything? Some new. Get your man some new for Christmas. Ain't to figure out. You know what to really make these happy. Y'all be trying to make shit extra complicated. If you're already sitting around thinking about, what do I get the man that has everything? That means that you must be with a good. Because don't try to figure shit out for any. So if your man is a good, get that some new for Christmas. That means he deserves some new. He's earned some new. Y'all know what y'all be doing for birthdays and all that. Everybody come downstairs. I want you guys to all see what I got my man. Pull your phones out. That's right. And everyone's going to watch my man open his gifts. Get that some new wrapped up in a bow. Put it under the Christmas tree and gather everybody around the Christmas tree so that they can watch his expression as he sees that he got the bras that got him some new for Christmas. You want to see your man light up and smile? He's going to be smiling bigger than your kids. A watch, a wallet, jewelry, cars. Ain't nothing going to make that smile bigger than you getting him some new pussy. He's going to be like, finally, this really understands me. If you really love your and you really want to see your man happy, you will get that some new for Christmas.
She's just a touch vulgar. However, I think many of you gentlemen can agree with her sentiments. And certainly that would be a very considerate gift to bless a man with, especially if he's been doing his job. This woman is an American treasure. And in fact, this is truly what I call serving your country. This is only good. These are all good things. I think we ought to probably share this. Share this reel. Send this reel to a woman that you care about. It could be your woman. Could be your friend's woman. He ain't gonna send it to her. You go ahead, send it to her. Do the homie a solid. Send this to your mama. Send this to any woman you care about. Send this to the woman of any man you respect. Comments, questions below.
If your girlfriend or wife ever tells you that she needs space or that she needs a little bit of a break, I'm going to tell you exactly what she really means. Because what it is secret lingo for something that's really dumb. And this is what she's going to do. My ex-wife did this to me after 9 years, so listen up. Trust me when I tell you that if she says she needs a break or some space, what they really mean is, I want to go cheat on you with the guy that I'm talking to and see if I'd rather be with him or you. No woman is ever going to break up with you and actually go work on herself. They've been talking to someone else and they want to go test the waters with them. That's what this break is about. But they call it a break instead of a breakup because they want to be able to come back to you just in case it doesn't work out with that other guy. Don't be a fool and fall for this like I did. I promise you they won't be focusing on themselves, they will be focusing on this other guy. So if a woman you're with ever tells you she wants a break, you have to realize there are millions of other women out there and you got to let this one go and move on to the next. Don't be a fool like I was and fall for these games, man. If you need help getting over your breakup, getting your mind right, getting in shape, and getting back out into the dating game, comment or DM the word evolve.
If he's not paying your bills, don't listen to him. And any man that says a woman is responsible for her own upkeep, yeah, when she's by herself, but not when she's in a relationship.
Right.
Because her peace, now she has to share with you. She's no longer getting beautiful for herself. She's also getting beautiful for you. She's wearing what you like.
Right.
She's talking how you want her to talk. She's moving how you want her to move. See, all these things have to be maintained. If not, she will run out of peace because she's giving you her peace.
When I'm upset with my husband, I have three choices. I can either wait for him to initiate reconnection. I can further separate us by giving attitude, rejecting him, just, certain things with my countenance, my words, my actions that are just completely different that can push him away further and make it take longer for us to reconnect. Or I can initiate reconnection. I can initiate apologizing. I can initiate conversations to foster understanding. I can have my regular countenance, have my regular attitude, do polite, kind words, give hugs, initiate touch, that kind of thing. And none of those things should be dependent on whatever he's doing. I can choose to be a good wife, even if he's not choosing to be a good husband. He can choose to be a good husband, even if I'm not choosing to be a good wife. That's called unconditional love. It's not based on the other person's actions. It's not conditional. Follow for more.
And so why did you end up popping your balloon?
I popped because I'm pretty spontaneous. I know you say you don't like a lot of chaos, and now chaos doesn't equal spontaneity, but I like to do things on a whim, so I feel like that isn't really what you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I love doing things. I'm very last minute. I love doing things on a whim. I just don't like arguing and drama. That's really what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you fit what he's saying about chaos, though? Because he's saying he agrees with you on the spontaneous stuff.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I like to argue, but in a fun, way though. Not in a crazy way. Not in a crazy way. You know what? I don't know. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you know, you don't. But yeah.
I don't think men are better people than women, and I don't think women are better people than men. But I do believe that men are better at a lot of things than women, like driving, like leading a team, like taking risks, like building a house, like building an economy. But women have strengths that men don't have. For example, women are better at nurturing. Women are better at taking care of babies. Women are better at taking care of children. Women are better at taking care of a household. And it doesn't mean that men can't do those things or women can't do what men can do, but it means that we have things that we are better at by nature in general, and that is okay. If we actually stop competing with each other and start complimenting each other instead, maybe the world would be a better place.
Men need to date within their tax bracket and stop getting mad that the woman they want has high standards. You don't walk into a luxury store and get mad that the prices are high. You can either build up your money and wait to buy what you want or shop where you can afford. Dating works the same way. A woman with high standards makes insecure men feel uncomfortable, not because they're asking for too much, but because she reminds them of what they haven't built yet.
But when I go to the luxury store, all the items on the shelf are new. These be used. They've been worn by several different people in several different states, countries, area codes, and been washed over several times, and with still remnants of the last. So actuality, we're not going to the luxury store to get the luxury item. We're going to the Salvation Army to get some secondhand, and that's well within our budget. I think that you missed that part because you thinking that you're selling new items that no one's tried or no one's used or no one's smutted out. No, these are hand-me-downs at the very least. And last time I checked, hand-me-downs and Salvation Army was an extremely discounted price that most men can afford. So I see where you were trying to go with that, but you missed the part with the 30-40 that have worn them shoes. And nobody likes another stanky feet in a pair of shoes. And you get the gist. You're going to get athlete's foot. That ugly money.
I just got off with my one-on-one coaching session from the host of the Ugly Money podcast, Big Michi. I think that's his name. I don't really know his name. But what I do know is that he was dropping jewels the entire time that we were on the line. Things that I could implement right away. And I did. Started getting results immediately. 10 out of 10 recommend. Go ahead and book your session today.
Shout out Ugly Money podcast for giving in the game. The niggas no gatekeeper. Put me on some real game about this podcast shit. Y'all need to tap in, nigga. Best little dollars I spent. I'm telling you. About to run this shit up. About to run a bag up.
Let me tell you something, Jennifer.
I love big booty Latinas. So I sit here and I see, yes, I love.
You are out of line.
Why can't I say I love big booty Latinas? How do you figure that?
That
Wait, how is that
first
a
response?
So my First Amendment right, I'm allowed to say I like big booty Latinas. How is that a crime? Is that because you're a big booty Latina?
That is the second time.
Wait, how is
Do
that?
you have a
No,
comment
I do have a comment about
what
technology, but you're yelling at me because I'm talking about big booty Latinas. Like, listen, AOC is my favorite big booty Latina. You're my second favorite big booty Latina. So don't get all, butthurt about that. I still think you're a beautiful lady. Little thick, but I like him thick. I mean, I don't want some skinny mini girl. I want somebody that has some cushion for the pushing. You know what I mean, Jennifer?
Shout the season.
For like $5.99 a month, you could probably make some money. Yeah, that's my city, Jennifer. Big booty Latina is not a crime to say that, officer.
Why did the officer go and put his hands back in his pocket? Bro, somebody do something. This man is out of line. Hey, bro, at this point, if they can't remove you, you gotta remove yourself. You doing way too much.
Let's give a round of applause for how you black queens are raising these girls. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. You guys are raising them with no dignity, a sense of entitlement that they should not have. And on top of that, the rudeness level that you are raising these young girls with is honestly disgusting. It was a gift exchange at school for my 11-year-old son who's in 6th grade. Right? So we had to sign a paper. You signed the paper and said, hey, yeah, my daughter wants to participate. We're going to do a gift exchange, $25 maximum, whatever, right? So my son gets the Roblox. I should have known something was up. We're going to call the girl P. P's thing said she likes baddies. Yeah, she likes baddies. That's her favorite show. She's like 11 or 12 in 6th grade, but her favorite show is baddies. That to me should have rang a bell. We should have been like, no, we're not participating. But I said, hey, you know what? Let's give it a go, right? My son really wanted to participate. Let's do it. So we go. I'm like, hey, here's a $25 Roblox gift card that she asked for. Here you go. She asked for clothes. She asked for shit. We don't need nothing, baby. We balling. She's like, we balling over here, baby. We got money. We got racks, baby. You don't even know. My baby got Jordans. My baby. I'm like, okay, my son owns an acre of land and a home, so he has a trust fund. So what are we really comparing here? You know what I mean? And that was her mindset to bring up that her baby has Jordans. I don't care. I said, you know what? You're right. You guys go ahead and have fun. I said, little mama, you enjoy the gift card. I have a Merry Christmas. I took my son. I said, you know what? You handled that very well. He was like, you know what, mom? Like, I'm not into drama. I'm just not into it. I said, I understand, baby. So I took him to the store. I got him a $25 Roblox gift card, and we went home. That was it. But at the end of the day, like I told the teacher, I said, you were supposed to be monitoring the situation. I said, when you noticed that the deadline had passed and she had not brought a gift, you could have saved everybody some drama and some trouble by saying, hey, P, you don't have your gift, so we're going to rearrange the gift exchange because you don't have your gift. You know what I mean? So instead of putting my son in a position and me in a position where we had to confront somebody, this girl asked for a lot of stuff. I'm like, hey, the budget's 25. Like, I don't, I'm sorry your parents don't give you clothes and shoes, but asking another kid's parents to buy you clothes and shoes during a gift exchange is kind of like, girl, like, what are you thinking? Anyways, so the days are getting closer. My son's like, hey, like, I noticed that my gift, wasn't under the tree. I said, hey, maybe her parents are waiting to the last day. Last day of the exchange comes. My son's gift is still not under the tree. I said, hey, you know what? Maybe she's going to bring it the day of, right? The day of shows up. My son gives the girl her gift. And so my son says, hey, where's my gift? She goes, I didn't get you a gift because I don't have to. My son says, but it was a gift exchange. She goes, I don't care what it was. And she takes the gift card and walks away. Mind you, P is black and she wears lace front wigs. And again, her favorite show is baddies. So at this point, my son's like, whatever, bro. So I'm like, it's not whatever. First off, it's not the point that it was $25. That's neither here nor there. It's the point of her level of entitlement and the fact that she's a scammer at the age of 11 or 12 years old. Over here is scammy. She knew she was not going to get a gift. Her parents knew she was not going to give him a gift. And so it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, what was the point of this? For a $25 gift card and to make someone feel what? What did you want him to feel about himself? You know what I mean? And so I go down to the school because I'm like, absolutely not. I say, call her mama and tell her to come up here because we need to know if her mom actually got him a gift or not. The mom was like, well, I didn't know. I forgot. Mind you, mama in bonnet and pajamas. Daughter must have been wearing a lace front that belongs to her and the mama because the mama had a bonnet on her head. Her hair wasn't done at all. And she's like, I don't know. I mean, you know, we was talking about the gift exchange and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you okay, ma'am? I'm like, you don't have to get loud. We're just asking for the gift card back. She's like, oh, it's just a funky ass little $25. It's not even that serious. Okay, well, give us the gift card back. She's like, well, my daughter already put it on her account. Okay, well, give me $25. And she, I don't have to pay. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, baby, you're right. You guys need it more than us. You're going to keep over a $25 gift. You know what I mean? So again, it's just like I said, like the little girl, for her to just have that sense of entitlement, that sense of I don't give a F at this age is kind of crazy. Like, how bold are you to say, oh, I don't have to because I didn't want to? How bold are you to do that? What kind of people are you guys raising? You know what I mean? And it's not like an isolated, it's not an isolated. They almost all act this way. It's not an isolated event. You know what I mean? And mind you, she literally, and I'm gonna have the school check that address because my daughter knows her older sister, and she was like, oh yeah, no, they're not even supposed to be at this school. She's like, they commute. They were using the grandma's address, and because they live in like a different city or whatever, right? And they were using the grandma's address, but the grandma moved too, so they're not even supposed to be in our school district. Let's start with that. So again, I'm about to have them check that address, baby, because you're not gonna be up here with your ghetto ways stanking up the place.
These women are getting ruthless. These women are getting ruthless. A lot of them are saying, hey man, these modern women out here are out of line, and you're not about to treat my son that way. You're not about to get over on my son that way. I'm going to raise my son to be respectful, to do what he's supposed to be doing, to be the best man, to be the best gentleman, to be the best person that society has ever seen. But to work for all of that, for us, imagine us working for 18, 19, 20 years. And a lot of parents work beyond that. They're working with their kids until they die. A lot of parents. Hey, dad, what about this? Hey, mom, what about this? Giving them guidance only for them to be given away, to come into contact with a woman that don't have nothing going for her. She's a bum. There was a show where the woman was talking about a man being in music. And she was like, I popped my balloon because you don't have a job. You just in music, right? I kept my balloon unpopped for so long because I wanted to hear what you had to say. And I wanted to ask you if you had a job. But because you don't have a job, that's why I popped. Come to find out, that woman said, I have kids. I have 6 kids. And you not having a job is not going to work for me. What? What type of foolishness is that? So no, I'm not going to be raising my sons and then giving them away to you, somebody who has 6 kids, expecting a man to come in and, well, they don't need this, that. No, I'm not raising my son, putting work in for 18, 19, 20 long years just for them to settle down with something like this.
Women are less satisfied in their relationships. They're less satisfied at work, and they're more discontented on their own. Perhaps they'd be more satisfied if they didn't have to deal with men whatsoever, since men are so often presumed to be the cause of their discontent. In which case, sexual relationships that don't involve men would presumably be the happiest and most harmonious of all, right? Actually, it turns out that the divorce rate among lesbians is even higher than the divorce rate among straights, and it's already pretty high among straights. How men might be to blame for that one, I'm not sure, but I imagine an explanation exists somewhere. Perhaps it's internalized homophobia as a result of participating in a toxic misogynistic culture. However, given the fact that the divorce rate among gays is significantly lower than the rate among the other 2 groups, this might be a tough sell. Do you get the point? Let's return to the original topic. We can now see how many of the reports of women's lower relationship satisfaction relative to men are functionally misleading. It's not that they're not true. It's that they all kind of assume that this increased discontentment is a deviation from the norm, that it's unique to this context, to their relationships with men. However, we've seen evidence that this might not be the case. We see lower satisfaction in women in numerous different contexts relative to men.
What are we doing?
Whoa, whoa!
What are you
Don't
doing
hug me.
here? What are you doing
What
here?
are those? What are those? What are those cherries? What is that?
They're just a family.
Why are you here?
What do you mean?
Why are you on a Tuesday night? We have kids at home. I just got home from work. The kids are home alone, and you're sitting in this alley at a hotel room. What are we doing?
Where you just walk away, homie. You know, she doesn't care about you. She doesn't respect you. You know, and there's some men out here that will sit and try to talk to this woman and get a reaction out of her, or react themselves, man. No reaction will always be the best reaction. Hey, you know what? I'm glad I found you here. We're good. We're done. That's it. And it's going to baffle them, man, when you sit there and you just have no reaction to it. You know, I'm not going to deal with your BS anymore. You know, I'm going to respect myself. That's where it's at, man. You got to respect yourself at all costs. No matter how much emotion or love you have towards her, man, you have to understand that she does not love you that same way. The best thing you can do is get up and move on with your life. To go to the gym, pump iron, go to church, better yourself, man. You know, get closer to God and improve your life. You know, a lot of men, they hold themselves back by dealing with these situations nonstop, man. You're never going to succeed. You're never going to go further than you are at right now. And that's just scare the crap out of you.
Excuse me. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Are you pretty?
Thank you.
I'm sorry about grabbing your hand.
Look like Hannah Montana.
Look, not that I would ever try this maneuver, but I am curious to know if this would work. How would it work if a 6'7" chocolate brother was just strolling through the aisles of Walmart and just grabbed your hand? What would happen? I probably would get slapped. That's probably how it would go. I don't know though, because this dude does this a lot, and I refuse to believe that everyone is in on these videos. Everybody can't be in on it. This brother's probably really that smooth. I don't know. I'll never be able to try this because I don't want my woman going upside my head. But y'all try it and report back. Let me know how it works. Respectfully, of course. Sensational.
And you know, had it been some of these women, he would have had to pay them $100 just to even say hi.
Black men, can we please get back to not being hyper-focused on how we look? Another thing we gotta stop doing is disrespecting our natural black features. This comment right here is a perfect example of what I'm saying. And I sense a little self-hatred in this comment. My issue with you as an old head is you need a lineup. No, I don't need a lineup. This is how my hair naturally is. I ain't even comb my hair out. I'm one of them dudes. I don't like going to the barbershop. I just like to be my natural self. I do think it's a little weird that we as black men are always hyper-focused on how we look and how other black men look. This dude said we don't rock with the good times hairstyles. Bro, did you forget that JJ had all the girls? JJ had all the women. All of the women wanted JJ. They didn't care about how his hair looked.
Yeah, that's a TV show. And obviously, you don't get women. So I don't know why that was your argument. Listen, man, I'm gonna just be honest. You look dirty. Your face is oily. You look incredibly overweight. It just seems as if you're lazy. You know you're lazy, but you feel guilty about it. So now you gotta put some deeper meaning behind it. And the only thing that makes sense to you is blaming it on racism. You think that I should better myself? That's exactly what the white man wants you to think. Haircuts are social constructions of how the white man tells us what's appropriate to look like. We supposed to be natural. Haircuts have existed for over 30,000 years. Everybody wants to claim to be the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians were cutting their hair. You know, for a group of people that swear up and down the whites are so inferior, y'all sure do give them a lot of unwarranted credit. Listen, this might be a hot take, but some of these standards exist for a reason. Look, if you want to go to some tribe in Central Africa and embrace your inner natural, by all means. But when you live in America, like it or not, there are standards. I'd like to think that most would do you some good. It just seems like you gave up, and now we're the ones that are forced to hear about how it was all part of the plan and you're wiser than everybody else because you like to be musty. Okay.
No, bro. Okay. I can't go with you on this one, Doc. He right. You need a lineup, Doc. You need a fade. You need to go ahead, get all that taken care of from the beard on down. I know somebody that'll take care of that. They'll get you shaped up real nice, the VIP experience. She'll do the facial and everything, doc. I got her on tap. I got her on standby. You know what I mean? I pay for it. Bro, don't do this. This is a cry for help.
Yo, there's a lot of truth to this video when it comes to dating.
Oh, check out that girl right there. She's cute. She get her number. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go get it. Yeah, go.
Thank you so much.
Hi, excuse me, miss. Can I get your name?
Why do you want my name?
Well, it's because I was interested in getting your number.
Why do you want her phone number?
It's because I want to take her out to get some coffee.
I don't even like coffee.
Oh, okay, well, sorry. Have a good day, ladies.
Oh my god, he was so cute! Do you think he's interested? Oh my god, I hope he got the hit!
How'd it go? Yeah, I don't think they're interested.
There's so much truth to this video because dating nowadays is like a puzzle and a guessing game, especially when it comes to women. So like homie goes up to the girl, he wants her name, and it's like, why? Like, yo, why do you think? And the thing is, when they with their friends, it's like this extra voice that's like unnecessary. Like, oh, why do you want her number? Like, why do you think? Trying to see if you single. And then there's the ick factor that is with dating now, that dudes don't even want to go up to girls no more. They think you're being a creep. They think you're being weird. They think you're being all this shit instead of just, yo, I'm just trying to see if you're available. If you are, cool. If you're not, just say nah, and I'm off to the next one. And birth rates on the craziest decline. Dating is worse than it's ever been. Marriage is worse than it's ever been. And it's just like the regular, simple dating market like this, like meeting people in a real space, not dating apps, maybe going to like the supermarket or like a Target clothing store, and you see somebody be like, oh, yo, can I talk to you? And they look at you and they be like, ugh. Like, it's the majority of women too. It's not genuine no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I think you're nice too. I bet, let's exchange numbers. Like, it's insane now. And this just gives like a good demonstration of how it is, even though it's type funny. But dating is just the worst it's ever been, and better figure it out before the robot girlies come.